we're going to be looking at a video from Saagar and Negeti on breaking points with Crystal Ball and what he said about Ta-Nehisi Coates. He went and said, we're going to look at the video, but it was a longer segment. I just have a smaller one here. But overall, he went and said how he is the grandfather of racism. I don't know how old this man is. He has to be like latest 45. So racism has only been here for 45 years or so. Only as long as this man's existence has racism been here. And this is in relation to the book that Coates wrote, talking about, Palestine and talking about Israel. Okay. And how, oh, well, you're making Palestine seem like they're just angels and Israel. Okay. All right. Bombing children and raping and offing, murdering women and children and taking women's clothes and lingerie, negligee, and putting it on a soldier, male soldier, after you went and did what it is that you did. Okay. And I just was watching a video about how they're using Palestinian kidnapping, by the way, children, and telling them to go walk so we could see if there's a mine or not. So if you blow up, you blow up. I don't really care. And making sure that you don't get food as well, and just everything else, separating the country, just anything else. Okay. Treating you like ish. Okay. But anyways, so he was actually saying how he is the reason why there's a whole bunch of racism in America right now, which I find to be crazy. I didn't know this dude was over 200 years old. Okay. I didn't know. I mean, he looks great. I don't know what kind of anti-aging cream he's using, but let's get into this video. So I first want to show where this actually came from. And this is from Brother Mo. And this is anti-black and filth racist. Saagar and Negeti is against reparations for Black Americans, yet he never makes the same argument for other ethnic groups, nor calls out systematic racism. He says our brother Ta-Nehisi Coates is the godfather of a lot of the race problems. I think I said godfather of a lot of the race problems. All right. So, and from Whisper Watch, it says this is why you should ignore him and his hot takes on race. This man called Coates the grandfather of a lot of race problems today. I wouldn't be surprised if he hates the idea of reparation for Black American descendants of slavery, politics, and breaking points. Okay, let's go ahead and check this video out, and let's just see.
Say, as I literally said, I don't like Ta-Nehisi Coates. I genuinely blame. I think he might be the godfather of a lot of the race problems that we have today. That's not an exaggeration in terms of that essay, The Case for Reparations, single-handedly radicalized every white girl on a college campus who eventually ended up working at the New York Times, behest of the BLM movement, of all this other nonsense that we have today. So I really do find him a villain in American politics. That said, I don't even like him, and I would not open with a question like that because that's wild. It would be an interrogation of the book itself, and not to say something like that would belong, what did he say, in an extremist
backpack of an extremist?
That's an insane thing to say.
So, as you heard what he said, he was saying he's the grandfather of the racial problems that we have because you have little white girls out here on the campus protesting for Black people and their struggles. Mind you, it ain't that many that's doing it. My question is this. Was Coates alive during Jim Crow? Let's go and look it up, actually. Let's go and look it up. And I got a little something that I do want to show you all. What the hell? I hate when it does this. All right. All right. So let's go and look it up. He is 49 years old. He's going to use some resources. When did Jim Crow era end? Should be the Jim Crow era, but okay. It says it began in the 1950s and 60s with the passage of major civil rights legislation. Okay. Board of Education, 54. Check dates. He was born 75. Okay, Civil Rights Act 64. He was born 75. Voting Rights Act 65. He was born 75. Okay, Housing Act 68. He was born 75. Okay. Can we also just make note? Because you're saying, oh, well, he's the reason why we have all these issues in America. Here's your wife. Okay. There's your wife. Let's go look at some other pictures. Here's your wife, dude. You know, let's keep it real. All right. This is why you feel so comfortable to say this, because you think, oh, well, I married a white woman, so I'm white too. You're not. You're not. You aren't. You're in with a little bit of seasoning. That's how they're going to look at you. That's how they look at you. Because they look at it and they go and say, okay, I'm going to go and use him for what it is that I need. Okay. Just like you can have a coon black person like a Clarence Thomas or a Candace Owens, where maybe they say some truth every now and again, but a lot of times it's like, And this is when you can have these kind of people and you can say some crazy stuff. And Candace Owens was even like, well, you know, they encouraged me to say this kind of stuff. Okay. You wanted to say it anyways because you thought you were them until you go and say some stuff about the Jews. Now it's like, oh, now you can't say it. You crossed the line. Well, what's wrong? I was saying things about black people. Yeah, you could talk about black people, but you can't talk about the Jews. That's a religion you can't. Okay. This is a religious group of people you can't touch. And she didn't understand that. And that's why she got kicked off that show with Ben Shapiro. Because she was over here popping off at the mouth, saying stuff that they said, you could talk about the black people up and down the street, but you better not talk about these people. But this is also another thing that I don't get. Okay. Picture's a little blurry. But this is also another thing that I don't get. All right. I go and look at a lot of this stuff. And then I go and see how you have zero problem whatsoever with Japanese getting reparations. With the Jews, it didn't even happen here. Reparations. All these people getting stuff. Illegals come in, they get housing, food, clothing, debit cards, all this other stuff, licenses, cars, and everything. But then the black person said, yo, can I get some of that? You see? And it's comical at this point because you really think you're white. He thinks he's white. Well, I got education. Okay, black people got education too. We don't think we white though. If a black person who thinks that they're white and is upholding white supremacy, we call that a coon. You're the same thing, dude. I mean, what are we talking about? And then he was so irate, saying, oh, I mean, you're getting the white girls on campus too. Why do you care? You're not white. Why do you care if a white girl on campus is saying, yeah, you know what? I don't like the police brutality that I'm seeing. And I got a black friend, and I really, in a genuine way, not one of those, oh, I got a black friend, but in a genuine way, I have a black friend. I don't like the way they're being treated. Let me get out here and let me do some stuff. Bernie Sanders getting out there marching and doing all that back in the day. Let me get out there and let me do some stuff. And you're like, I mean, they're having the white girls come out here, and I mean, they're defending the black man. And why does that bother you? Do you think you own white women? You don't. Hello, hello, hello. I would greatly appreciate it if you can actually support my little small business called Latrice Limited. It is on latricelimited.com. So as you can see right here, I actually sell candles and a wide variety of other items as well. This is my big forehead, okay? But I actually want to show you just a couple of different items that I do sell. This is actually going to be a part of my soap collection that I have. As you can see, I have a variety of different soaps on here. I actually have 2 pages worth of soaps, and everything is handmade, okay, natural, clean ingredients as well. You can also see right here, these are my candles. All right, they're all handmade, everything vanilla, sweet roses, sage and vanilla, vanilla, and sweet roses are actually my favorite scents that I do have. I also have a few other items on here. I'm actually going to go and show you all the bath bombs that I do have. As you all can see, there's eucalyptus and sage, sweet pea harmony, and so many more. And then we're just going to finish off on the gift sets that I have. There's a variety of them, from like the big ones like this for 45, and then you have some of the smaller ones, and you have these itty bitty ones down here that includes essential oil blends. Definitely shop with your girl. Definitely help your girl out. I would greatly appreciate it. This is like my little baby over here. Okay. I would greatly appreciate it, and enjoy.